Here are some incredible facts about the human brain and memory. Did you know that the brain has about 1 billion neurons? A piece of brain tissue the size of a grain of sand amazingly contains 100,000 neurons and 1 billion synapses, all communicating with each other. Research has shown that the human brain starts remembering things from the womb from 20 weeks gestation onwards. In fact, most people don't recall any memories from their earliest years of life, usually before the age of 3 or 4. This is commonly known as infantile amnesia. Nevertheless, the average brain registers about 50,000 thoughts per day, and 70% of these are actually believed to be negative. In fact, each time a memory is recalled or a new thought occurs, a new connection is created in the brain. The amazing fact is that the storage capacity of the human brain is virtually limitless. Neurons combine through synapses, exponentially increasing the brain's memory capacity to around 25 million gigabytes, which is equivalent to remembering TV programs running continuously for more than 300 years. Experts believe that you can hold about 7 items in short-term memory for about 20 to 30 seconds. Short-term memory happens as a result of chemical and electrical impulses in the brain, in contrast to more structural changes that are associated with long-term memory. Many believe that our attention spans are getting shorter. In 2000, the average attention span was 12 seconds, which is now down to 8 seconds. That's shorter than the attention span of the average goldfish, which is 9 seconds. Sleep has an important role in memory as the brain consolidates memories during sleep. Sleep also assists the storage and retrieval of long-term memories. The fact is, memory gets broken up into bits and pieces and stored in different parts of the brain. When the memory is to be recalled, it gets reconstructed from the individual fragments. It is believed that an adult can remember 20 to 100,000 words. Did you know that memory does not actually decay? Everything is stored in there, but without rehearsal, memories become harder to access as our ability to retrieve them is affected. Your long-term memory shuts down during sleep. That's why you often dream about something you just saw, and why dreams fade quickly once you wake up. Dreams aren't being recorded into long-term memory. Your memory can associate a scent with a certain event or occurrence. A smell can trigger the memory in your mind associated with it, as the hippocampus is also associated with scent. It's a well-known fact that feelings play an important role in remembering things. Memory thrives on storytelling. The more things you can link together into a narrative, the more readily you'll be able to recall them later on. The color most easily remembered and recalled is chartreuse, which is like a bright yellow with a tinge of green. Because of this, many cities have changed their fire trucks from red to a yellow-green color to make them more visible. Anytime you are given a picture, graph, video, infographic, or other visual elements to demonstrate new information, you are much more likely to commit that information to memory. However, there is such a thing as false memory. We can't always tell the difference between our memories and our imagination. Emotions, motivation, cues, context, and frequency of use can all affect how accurately you can remember something. Our memories may have changed, but they all feel very real to us. Did you know that walking through doorways can cause memory lapses, especially when you enter an unfamiliar environment? This is called an event boundary, which separates what happens in one room from what happens in another. TV, if watched for more than 2 hours, is likely to damage your memory. It also increases the risk of developing Alzheimer's later in life. The typical brain comprises about 2% of the body's total weight, but uses 20% of its total energy and oxygen intake. Your brain is 73% water. However, it only takes 2% dehydration to affect your attention, memory, and other cognitive skills. 90 minutes of sweating can temporarily shrink the brain as much as 1 year of aging. The brain weighs about 3 pounds. However, 60% of the dry weight is fat, making the brain the most fatty organ in the body. 25% of the body's cholesterol resides within the brain. Therefore, cholesterol is an integral part of every brain cell. Without adequate cholesterol, your brain cells will die. No one knows for sure, but the latest estimate is that the brain contains roughly 86 billion brain cells. Each neuron can transmit 1,000 nerve impulses per second and make as many as tens of thousands of synaptic contacts with other neurons. A piece of brain tissue the size of a grain of sand contains 100,000 neurons and 1 billion synapses, all communicating with each other. All brain cells are not alike. There are many as 10,000 specific types of neurons in the brain. As you should hopefully know, your brain needs a constant supply of oxygen. As little as 5 minutes without oxygen can cause some brain cells to die, leading to severe brain damage. A 2-year-old's brain is 80% of an adult's size. As any parent can attest, teenage brains are not fully formed. It isn't until about the age of 25 that the human brain reaches its full potential. Brain information travels up to 268 miles per hour. This is faster than Formula One race cars, which top out at 240 miles per hour. The brain generates about 20 watts of electricity. This is enough to power a couple of low-wattage LED light bulbs. There's a reason the brain has been called a random thought generator. According to the Laboratory of Neuroimaging at the University of Southern California, the average brain generates 48.6 thoughts per minute. This adds up to a total of 70,000 thoughts per day. Chronic stress and depression are rampant in modern life. Either one of these can cause measurable brain shrinkage. The modern diet is low in omega-3 essential fatty acids. Low levels of omega-3s result in brain shrinkage equivalent to 2 years of structural brain aging. Since the late 1800s, the average IQ has gone down 1.6 points per decade for a total of 13.35 points. As we all know, technology has forced most of us to be multitaskers, but the brain can't learn or concentrate on 2 things at once. What it can do is quickly toggle back and forth between tasks, but doing so decreases your attention span, ability to learn, short-term memory, and overall mental performance, and even temporarily decreases your IQ by up to 15 points. Memory is more accurately considered an activity or a process rather than being associated with a specific area of the brain. Any given memory is deconstructed and distributed in different parts of the brain. Then, for the memory to be recalled, it must be reconstructed from the individual fragments. Did you know that the brain starts slowing down at the age of 24, but peaks for different cognitive skills at different ages? In fact, at any given age, you're likely getting better at some things and worse at others. An extreme case is vocabulary skills, which may peak as late in life as the early 70s. If you were drinking alcohol and don't remember what you did last weekend, it's not because you forgot. While you are drunk, your brain is incapable of forming memories. It's generally believed that people with exceptional memories are born that way, but this is rarely the case. Most memory masters will tell you that having an outstanding memory is a skill they developed by employing their best memory techniques. Although pain is processed in the brain, it has no pain receptors and feels no pain. This explains how brain surgery can be performed while the patient is awake with no pain or discomfort. Headache pain feels like it starts in the brain, but in fact is caused by sensations from nearby skin, joints, sinuses, blood vessels, or muscles. A brain freeze surely feels like pain in the brain, but it's an example of referred pain emanating from the roof of the mouth. The brains of introverts and extroverts are measurably different. MRIs reveal that the dopamine reward network is more active in the brains of extroverts, while introverts' brains have more gray matter. There are approximately 200 known cognitive biases and distortions that can cause you to think and act irrationally. Memories are shockingly unreliable and change over time. Emotions, motivation, cues, context, and frequency of use can all affect how accurately we remember something. This can also include flashbulb memories, which occur during traumatic events. Of the thousands of thoughts a person has every day, it's estimated that 70% of this mental chatter is negative, self-critical, pessimistic, and fearful. Did you know that 95% of your decisions take place in your subconscious mind? Also, the brain in your head isn't your only brain. There's a second brain in your intestines that contains 100 million neurons. Gut bacteria are responsible for making over 30 neurotransmitters, including 95% of the body's serotonin, or the so-called happy molecule. I hope you found this information to be relaxing. Until next time.